3 cost forward Dark Knight 9k. When Dark Knight enters the field, Dark Knight deals you 1 point of damage. At damage 5, Dark Knight gets Brave. I personally feel this is a bit too expensive, actually. I know that sounds weird to say. But
No, I actually quite like this card in... Oddly enough, I like this in Monks, because this instantly makes your Yang play another Monk.
yeah, that is true if you're feeding off the 1 point of damage, but I'm thinking cards like Shadow Lord, which are this but cheaper with less... I don't know. Yeah, it'll come down. What are you more afraid of? The 1 damage or your opponent getting a possible 2 cost back up ahead of you?
My opponent ramping, probably, to be honest. My opponent ramping. That's what I'm probably more afraid of. Like, and again, I particularly like this Dark Knight, not just because it smacks you for 1, so it enables some of your damage strategies, but it just, like, it's also just a giant body for cheap. Like, we know giant bodies for cheap aren't as relevant as what they used to be, but like
it's like
if I'm at 4 points of damage, all of a sudden I play this and all my damage 5 effects are online.
I'm gonna be real with you. I would still rather play Cecil.
Yeah, I was gonna... Yeah, actually, yeah, Cecil. Oh, yeah, Kanagawa, Cecil, yeah.
Oh, well, that works too. But yeah, like, yeah, sure, he's 2k less, but he gets bigger at damage 3, and he at least does something to, you know, make up for the fact that you're dealing yourself a point of damage.
Yeah, I really feel this is a... Like, okay, if this was a 2 cost, like Shadow Lord, I would probably be a bit more of a... Yeah, actually, this is...
Oh
legit.
yeah, if this was a 2 cost, I'd love it. But this being a base 9k is a point to the positive, at least.
Yeah. Did you have actually any notes on Rosa while you were gone?
Rose is cool. I just don't know where she fits.
We were talking Wind, Water, and Ice Wind.
Yeah, Ice Wind, I don't know if you can fit her in. Wind, Water, yeah, sure. Play her in Wind, Water.
I even feel like something like Wind Lightning might be good.
Maybe. You got enough cheap stuff.
Yeah, I was saying I wished it was a Dragoon card. I would have splashed Wind in Dragoons just for her.
Just because it has Kane in the art.
Oh my god, that's... Alright, alright.
Called him out on that, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Great minds think alike, and I just cry in a corner. Anyway.
Okay.
Next card, 6 cost Wall, forward 8k. When Wall enters the field, you may play 1 category Mobius forward Sarah from your hand onto the field. Damage 3, Wall gets 1k power, Brave, and Wall cannot be broken by opposing summons or abilities that don't deal damage.
Sarah, bloody Neo,
yeah.
bro.
No, you're not even thinking big enough from there. You got Soya, you've got Yasmat, you've got
Yes, it's almost like the bottom end of that list is still good, and it only gets better from there. It's almost like that was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, I guess, but like, that being said though, like, this thing's best target is probably either Yzmat or Neo X Death.
Yeah.
Anything that costs at least it or more than it.
Yeah, because you get those, and you're effectively just getting an AK body for free.
Yeah, like, everyone was talking about Red 13, I'm like, but this!
But this lets you keep it, and you get an AK out of the deal as well.
Or, even better, you play this off of Star Sibyl, and you actually Star Sibyl in the giant thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Zoya, this thing is actually really good. I just feel bad it's a Warrior of Light that doesn't give a shit about that.
I'll be completely honest as well. I actually thought this was a hero the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
No, it's a rare. That's dumb.
And I read that it was a rare. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows like the power creep of the last few sets that, you know, cards that we would have been legendary in set 1 to 5 are now rares.
Yeah.
Mono Earth Leonis plays this play Neo. Yeah.
Yeah. Leonis, this Neo is just kind of stupid.
No, what was it? Vanilla? Nah, you can't vanilla this, but no one ever does that anymore.
Vanilla my 4 costs.
Anyway, moving swiftly along.
Yeah.
Carbuncle, that forehead. he's big brain boy. Carbuncle. 1 cost summon EX. All forwards you control get plus 2k power until end of turn. If all the backups you control have Earth Element, draw a card.
This card
Why?
is a sweet combat trick,
Mm-hmm.
especially for monks.
Monks didn't
Yeah, look-
need this. Why?
Like some monk lists are already running what's it called, Exodus FFTA as a combat trick. This is just
Yeah,
Yeah.
better.
this draws you a card as well.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
I mentioned in our last section that Earth cards should not have draw 1 card written on them, but really, Hobby Japan didn't pay attention.
Oh yeah, no.
The thing I like is it's if all backups, not if X backup. If you have 1 Earth backup, it triggers this.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it's great.
Yep.
Like, all the others are like, 3 or more Earth, 3 or more Wind, 3 or more Fire. This one's like, nah.
It's important to note though that this will not draw you a card on 0 backups, so don't try and pull that trick.
Yeah, no,
No.
thank you. I would have been pissed if that was a thing. 0 is not a number.
At the same time as well, this is also a non-targeting pump effect that could potentially draw you a card off of the X burst.
Yeah.
There's also Cat 7, so that's relevant.
Yeah, it's a what?
That
Yeah,
explains the giant forehead.
it's
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a 1 cost as well. Like, you basically tap a backup, pay 1, draw a card. It's a 0 cost, pump your field by 2. It's a neg 1. You get a benefit of 1 CP possibly. So yeah, this thing scares me in more ways than one. Calabrina, 3 cost monster.
This thing scares me for different reasons.
Yeah. 3 cost monster. If you control 3 or more Earth backups, see, this one says 3 or more. This one thought about it. If you control 3 or more Earth backups, Calabrina also becomes a 9k power forward. When Calabrina is put from the field into the break zone, you may select 1 Earth backup you control. You may put it into the break zone. When you do, replay Calabrina onto the replay it from the break zone back onto the field. So yeah, great. This is exactly what we needed. A 9k that can come back.
And yeah.
Too bad it has like a 12k that can come back, and a 15k
Yeah.
that can come back.
And it's like, again, few oaks is too late.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that if you have 3 backups, pop one to bring it back, it's not a forward, is very annoying.
It's very relevant. Plus, half the time, like, if you think about what Earth decks are, like, what Mono Earth decks are, they are monks, right? And
Yeah.
once Ursula's in play, all those backup monks are fuel Ursula. They are not fuel for Calabrina.
Yeah.
So, this thing, if you're building a deck designed for this to be a forward at all times, it's not going to be monks. And monks is the best Mono Earth deck out there right now.
Yeah, Monks is one of the best Mono Earth decks, and Monks is one of the biggest decks I've seen that goes from like 0 to 5 to 0 to 5 backups in a short amount of time. Like, maybe this could have worked in the old like Monster Earth X decks, but until we see that again, I don't think again, you're breaking 1 backup to get a 9k back, where in Earth you're doing that, but with bigger stuff that is more consistent.
Yeah.
We got our Primal, Titan Lord of the Crags. 7 costs 9k. When Titan Lord of the Crags enters the field, break all forwards with power less than Titan Lord of the Crags. So it says less than, not 9k or less, meaning if you've got a field effect that pumps this on entry, it's that new number, which is actually relevant. When 5 or more forwards are put from the field into the break zone due to this effect, Titan Lord of Crags deals your opponent 1 point of damage. So you could potentially play this with 5 of your own forwards out, kill them to deal them a damage and win.
So, like, this is only a legend because it deals your opponent a point of damage. And yet Sasanawa is a hero. Explain that.
Fire too chunky. Like, that's the reason.
Yeah.
Fire too chunky.
Like, this is basically like poor mensch and Toto.
Yeah.
Like, the benefit that I can see from this It isn't even really a benefit. Is you can pump it so it kills a greater range of things, but at that point, like, why?
I
Why are you running this when you could run Shintoto?
Yeah, but I also I would always run Shintoto over this, so I'm going to say that I don't disagree with that. But the fact that this could potentially kill your opponent is not something to sneer at. Like, if they're on 6, you drop this wiping their field, or you're wiping your field even, and deal them the last point of damage. That's still...
I'm not saying that's irrelevant,
Yeah.
but it's just one of those things where
Toto wins
if
this
you're
fight,
going to that point, if you're getting to that point and your opponent stabilizes, and this is the thing to push you over the line, like what sort of magical Christmas land scenario are you setting up so that that is the thing that gets you over the line, rather than actually just winning the game with your forwards, you know?
And it does leave a 9k body behind, as Mel Nerd King said. I don't look, if you're comparing it to Toto, I will always pick Toto, but I don't think this is a card to ignore. I think this is a card that can be run successfully. As even in monks, I think a one of this could possibly be very good.
I feel as though you'll run this if you are absolutely positively convinced that Shantoto is not going to be enough of a board wipe.
Which can happen.
Yeah, definitely can.
It can happen because if your opponent knows you've got the Shintoto, they won't play into it.
Yes.
It's significantly harder to search for Titan than it is to search for Shintoto. In saying that, it's sort of a much of the muchness for me. Like, you need the pump. 9 times out of 10, you need to have the pump there to get the Titan over the line to deal with enough forwards to get you that point of damage. So realistically, you're not paying 7 CP for this card. You're paying like 8 or 9 CP.
I don't know. I think this has more potential than that, personally.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because there's so many 9k forwards running around that will be running, especially with this set dropping.
Yes, I do.
This does not read as a 7k forward. This reads as a 9. This doesn't read as a 7 cost forward. This reads as an 8 or 9 cost forward, with a higher power, of course. But it needs that extra push.
Yeah, which we have with Enna Cross or stuff like that.
Yeah, but again, that means you're spending 3 CP on a backup to pump the Titan in order to sweep more.
Or you're playing 3 CP for a backup that you've used for the last few turns. Like, it's not like it's an unnatural... It's not like you're running Enna Cross just for Titan, though. Yeah,
to an extent you are, but it's
Like, this discussion literally is what this card is about. It's that payoff or not payoff balance thing, and I actually like that about this card, that it's not just a straightforward. But I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on this because I think this can do some work.
Don't get me wrong. It will see play. People will play it. It's just I think people will try to rate it highly. I think it's a bit of a trap.
I also think it's easier to replay Titan than it is to replay Toto as well. Or you can, if you have Toto out or Titan out, you can play the second one. That option as well is very relevant.
I don't know, with Fenrir running around everywhere.
Yeah. Chichu, 1 cost monster. This is part of that cycle. You put a counter on it. Sacrifice it. Give something +2 power for each counter on it. I think we've already discussed.
We don't need to discuss this guy.
Yeah. Also, Toto forward exists.
Toto forwards exist, but...
So yeah, if you want to run the Toto forward, you can run the Titan as a replacement. But yeah, it's... Yeah, there are... Yeah. 2 costs Keaton EX backup. When Keaton enters the field, choose 1 character during this turn. It cannot attack or block, and it cannot use action abilities. It has a special, which is just special and dull it. Choose 1 forward, deal at 4k damage. You may pay an extra earth. When you do so, use this special again without paying the cost. You can do that as many times as you can pay it, after you've done the special once.
Yeah, so if you've got the earth CP spare, you can just keep repeating over and over and over again. The biggest question about this card, though, is it worth it? Like, does have a bit of a bit lacking in
Evasion.
2-cost backups.
And in I like the evasion effect.
Yeah, like it does have effects like that. It just they are on like other cards like Arden.
The thing
and
is this
stuff.
the only Keaton that's been printed?
Yeah. So even getting the special off once is a bit of a muchness. But at the same time, do you want to run multiples of this card to try and get the special off?
As a 2-cost backup, if monks didn't exist, as a 2-cost backup, this might have seen possible options. Even as an EX, because it's an EX burst as well. So going EX burst, the next thing you're probably going to attack me with, or the biggest threat to me attacking next, unable to do it this turn.
I'll be honest, the biggest thing that I see this card being used for specifically is to actually target monks. Because you play this, and then you target Ursula. She can't attack or block, and she can't throw monks at people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they have to respond then and there.
The other big thing about this card is that it's a ninja. But does Edge and Friends really want this?
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say. It's in the wrong colors.
Yeah, there's no other Earth ninjas, so...
Yeah.
Well, yes, there is. There's the one from Opus 3 that kills a double forward at cost 2 or less.
Which might be relevant. Which might be relevant. No, that might be relevant soon. We're saying 2-cost. Yeah, I was gonna say that might actually be relevant soon. 3-color ninjas. Maybe.
They're already 3 colors though.
Yeah, you want the fire more for Gekko and the fire ninjas.
No. 5-color ninjas with Gilgamesh 13, whatever it is.
Okay, I'll do it.
Oh god.
I just wish we had ice ninjas. Anyway.
Hey, it's Ichigo. Wait, no. Cloud. I swear this is a Bleach art. You cannot prove it otherwise to me. I'm not even going to give you a chance. This just feels like a Bleach artwork to me. 4-cost Cloud forward 8k. If your opponent controls any forwards, Cloud gets plus 2k power. When Cloud attacks, choose one forward. It gains, if possible, this forward must block until end of turn. Discard one Category 7 card. Until end of turn, Cloud gains plus 1k power, and Cloud cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons abilities. This scares me.
Again, it's just abilities, but yeah, this card is actually really, really powerful. Like,
yeah.
I've had this discussion with a couple of people who just said, this is just Galuf, but worse. But it's not just Galuf, but worse.
It's free
actually,
for one.
It's free for starters. It's 10k when it's doing it, so it's got that. And the inherent protection, while it's a Category 7 card, and it does need a little bit of build around, but having that plus 1k and immunity to abilities can just end somebody's day.
And even then, you don't have to run it in a Category 7 deck. You just discard the other clouds you drew that you have 3 copies of this to protect it and just keep killing things.
Or the Carbuncles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Titans.
Or Titan. Yeah.
So there is other ways to run this card. So it's actually incredibly powerful. It's incredibly versatile.
Yeah.
What it does. Especially against decks like Sophie, because it just goes, oh, that Sarah Mobius has to block now. And Sarah's just, like, Sophie's just lost 4k power.
Yeah.
And I could even see this, potentially trading, or not trading, but killing a Sophie as well.
Because I think...
if you needed to.
I think when this card dropped, people sort of wrote it off because it's a cloud. I think of it this way. It's a good card, but it's a bad cloud.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even think it's a bad cloud, to be honest.
Like,
but
it's not even that bad of a cloud. That's the big.
I just think we're just sick of cloud. That's the issue.
I think the problem is just that there are much better clouds, including the one that's coming out in the starter deck in a couple of months.
Oh, that I agree with. Yeah.
This is a cloud that you don't want to run in
Cat 7.
Yes.
But has things that do with Cat 7.
Yeah, but you have enough incidental Cat 7s that it's honestly kind of fine.
Yeah, and specifically because it says Cat 7 card, not Cat 7 character. So you can discard, like, any of your excess Cat 7 summons that you happen to draw for it. So, like, the category has become slightly more relevant when you're reviewing some cards because of this cloud.
Yeah, which I kind of like the fact that this game has like 4 modes of tribal almost, not just 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we got our Primal backup, 2-cost Kobold. When it enters the field, when an Earth Job Primal enters the field, activate it. If you control an Earth Job Primal, you may tap it. It gains choose one forward. It gains 1k power until end of turn. You can only
This is the worst one because there's only one Earth Primal.
Yeah, and its dull ability isn't really.
Well, its dull ability is good because it pumps the Titan.
Yeah,
in response to
like,
its.
this is the way to like
Ensure
boost
the
up the
Titan's killing
Titan
all
and
9
yeah.
Because
Exactly.
because technically you can pump it twice on the stack, can't you?
Yeah, if you don't use this to pay the cost of the Titan, you can just make it an 11k.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's a standard unit, so you can pump it as many times as you like. But the big kicker for this is, if you're playing this card, you are telegraphing that you have Titan in your deck.
Yeah.
And your opponent is just going to play around it for the rest of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least if we had a second Titan you could have bluffed with, it would have been reasonable. But yeah, that's why I wasn't too happy with this as
Like,
well.
if there was a second Earth Primal, it would have been great. But
yeah,
a relevant one, because if it was shit, then you know that you're playing that. You're not going to be playing the bad one.
Are you sure about that?
Going with the worst primals in a deck and win.
To be fair, every single Primal that we've seen so far, probably with the exception of Titan, has been phenomenal at doing one thing specifically, at least.
Yeah. Speaking of Shantotto, 5 cost backup. If Shantotto is on the field, Shantotto can produce wind, so immediately bad. When Shantotto enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 wind card and up to 1 earth card from among them to your hand, and return the other cards to the bottom of your deck in any order.
Why are you a Shantotto? Next.
Yeah. Why are you only wind?
Let's keep this card in mind for a few seconds, because it does have a really, really sweet effect, and being able to tap for the 2 elements it gets is actually quite powerful. But the problem is, exactly as mentioned, it's a Shantotto.
Yes.
If you're playing Earth cards, you're more often than not playing the good Shantotto,
Yes.
which sweeps the field. Is another important thing to note as well, though, is that this doesn't gain the element of wind. It means it can produce wind CP while it's in play.
So you can untap it with the White Mage, and that's about it.
You can also run it with Bunavelza. So Bunavelza will actually get the cost reduction as a result of this Shantotto.
Yes.
And here's the thing. At best, it's a 1-cost wind earth, but don't the hybrid backups already do this for something around that cost?
The thing that makes this probably slightly more important is that this goes backwards, whereas all of the Moogles go forward. So, like, the Earth Moogle taps for lightning, the Wind Moogle taps for Earth. Yeah. Whereas with Shantotto going backwards to wind, that means you can run powerful wind cards in your Earth deck.
But the thing do you know what the other thing that goes backwards is? Is the other Toto.
It's the other Shantotto, exactly. So.
Yeah, like this is an incredible card with possibly the worst name it could have possibly had.
Yeah. This has Unisyndrome.
Yep.
Okay, Dark Elf. 4 cost 8k. If Dark Elf is dealt 9k or more damage, that damage becomes 0 instead. So, if you have Enacross out, this thing's a pain in the ass.
Enacross and Minwood.
Enacross and yeah.
I'll be honest, this thing is just a pain in the neck normally anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love the most about this card is the flavor.
Oh yeah.
So if you haven't played Final Fantasy IV, this guy was a boss fight where he was weak to he was weak to metal weapons, but strong to everything else. So you couldn't really hurt him with like smaller things, but you couldn't actually attack him with the larger things because he was in a magnetic cavern. So you can't use your metal stuff because you're frozen to the spot.
Yep.
So you have to use small things to get him.
That's pretty cool. Not as good as
Yeah,
the
it's
penis
great.
the penis boss in 10 that dies to soften.
Yeah. And,
But-
know, gotta love that art. Donald Trump after he got experimented on for 8 years.
So Donald Trump.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. But no, I really like this card. It's fun, it's silly, it's strong, it does a lot of fun things that I like.
Yeah. A friend of mine has already tried to build a deck that goes Invincible Dark Elf Turbo.
And saying that as well, this does trigger. This does work well with the Rydia, the Opus.
Yeah.
I think it's Opus 11 Rydia.
Yeah.
That gives other Cat 4/4s +1K and Brave.
Yeah.
Also, this can survive any sort of damage board wipe effects that you do to your stuff as well as theirs, like the Ifrit or the...
Oh, you want a Susano Wormy?
Yeah, Sasano, so yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's too big, it's his living.
Technically, you could play your own Titan with this out and this lives.
No, because Titan doesn't deal damage.
Oh, is
Titan
it? That's
breaks.
right. I keep forgetting
Titan
Titans.
strike breaks.
I keep thinking Titan does damage. I don't know why I'm stuck on that, and I know I'm wrong.
Yeah.
4 cost Noctis backup. Dull, put Noctis into the break zone. Choose one category 15 forward of cost 5 or less in your break zone. Play it onto the field. You can only use this ability during your turn. This is amazing with Regis. So, god damn it.
So is nobody going to mention the elephant in the room?
We said Regis.
You said the
Ignis.
mouse. You said the mouse. You didn't say the elephant.
Go on then.
Yep.
This plays for style from break zone.
Yep. It plays Versatile, it plays Regis, plays Ignis to search another copy of it. This is clearly the best card named Noctis.
I forgot Vestale was a 15.
Everyone forgot Versatile was a 15.
I'm
Until
like-
this guy got spotted.
I'm like, wait, hold on. Crap, you're right.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'll
yes.
go to play my Versatile and draw 3 cards, just casually.
Yeah.
Also, this is a card for those that are fans of Final Fantasy Versus 13, because
Yep.
that's the Versus 13 artwork for Noctis. So, at the same time as well, it's got a relevant effect, getting back Regis or Versatile. It's got a relevant job in Prince, so you can find it with Sarah. This card has almost everything that you want in its effects.
Yeah, no, this is very good Noctis. And I'm a person who's always stood by the 3 cost Noctis on damage 6 one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, this is so dumb and fun. It's like Earth didn't need any more recursion, but it has it as well now.
Yep.
Yeah. Bar Gamna, 2 cost backup. When Bar Gamna enters the field, choose one forward opponent controls, activate it. It gains, if possible, is forward must block until end of turn. I'm glad we're seeing more of this effect in the game, to be honest.
And especially in this element, because, like, if you think about it, every single piece of removal that Earth has is dependent on my guy is bigger than your guy, so your guy going to die.
Yeah.
So it's really, especially on a 2 cost backup as well. It's kind of entertaining. Like, you can just go, like, you don't need to play it on turn 1, but you don't necessarily cry if you have to play it on turn 1.
Yeah. And considering all the backup removal we're seeing, stuff like this might actually be pretty good now.
Yeah. It seems like a fine card. And again, we already talked about how Cloud having that effect attached to him on his attack trigger is insanely powerful. Having Begamnon as well is just another way to say, okay, that's got a block, but I'm going to swing with this giant dude.
Yeah. This is good. I like this. I like seeing more stuff than this. I just hope
It's a roundabout way to remove a card.
I just hope we get more stuff like this to make monks not less, but have an alternate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
we'll see.
Paladin. This is part of that cycle. When it enters the field, reveal the top 2 cards, put one earth in your hand, the other in bin. Break it, do the same thing. Or dull and break it, do the same thing.
So I actually quite like this card in Earth because Earth has a lot of ways to get cards back. So it's not that much of a risk to actually run this card.
Yeah. Especially when we're just looking at stuff like Noctis and...
Yeah. You could actually use this to put the Regis into the bin, so you've got it saved up for later if you're running Noctis. My only concern about this card is that Earth is absolutely stacked to oblivion at the 4-cost backup slot.
Yeah. And again, the big deck right now that's being played is Monks, which has its backup slot like locked already.
Yeah. Which the backup slots are Monk, Tyro, and Shintoto.
And Noctis, I would say now.
I wouldn't even run Noctis in Monks.
We have
There's
Sid Garland. Why would we run this?
Yeah. I think Earth's backups is... They need to do something really impressive to make that change.
Yeah. But you could potentially run this in tandem with Sid Garland, but does Sid Garland have a sack effect?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Gets back a Cat 14.
But again, that's part of the reason why I like this effect in Earth, because you don't mind putting cards in the bin with Earth because you've got so many ways to get cards back.
Yeah. Again, we
Yeah,
need to see an alternate. We need to see an
We need
alternate
to see
to
some
Monks.
mono Earth that's not Monks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hojo, I actually really like this card. Also, I've said this all week and I'm going to keep saying it. Out of all the ways when I first played FF7 that I imagined Hojo looking in my head, this would have been the last thing. Why is Ozzy Osbourne in my FF7? 4-cost Hojo backup. When Hojo enters the field, choose one forward you control. You remove it from the game. When you do so, choose one forward in your break zone with cost inferior to that removed forward. Play it onto the field. I love this.
So this is sort of like a reverse pod cloud. I quite like the effect as well. It's very unique. It's another way to get a potentially extremely powerful entering the field effect.
Sarah, you get back Sarah.
But what are you exiling?
That doesn't matter. You're getting back Sarah. As long as it costs more than 3 or more. You can get back Yang into Ursula, into Sophie or something. You can replay your combos from bin as long as you got something on field that's bigger.
Like, you could probably put this into Monks, because then you can remove the 5-cost Monk, which is actually a 1-cost, to play Yang, to get Ursula, to get something else back.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you would probably do that with Monks. I feel like this card opens up a very interesting design space. I don't know where or how it's going to be used, but it's there, and people should not ignore it.
No, definitely. I really like this kind of wording, this kind of play. And the fact that it's from bin is very, very good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's still dependent on what you have in your discard pile as well.
Yeah, just make sure you got yourself a Mist Dragon up to counter their Mist Dragon.
Yeah. Again, I'm glad that not every card sort of has a couple of weaknesses to it. That's a good thing in a game. Mirage Fennis, 3-cost forward, 7k EX burst. When he enters the field, choose one forward, put it into your break zone from the field during this. Put it into your break zone from the field during this turn. Add it to your hand. Wait, did I read that wrong?
I do not like this card. It requires something of yours to have already died for this to actually get its value.
We have Regis. Why
Exactly.
bother?
You've already got Regis to do that with, and Regis gets back a second thing.
Yeah.
Although this is EX, that's all I'll give it.
But even then, it's
to hand, not to field.
Burst. Yeah. as an EX burst, you're kind of just sitting there going, "Oh, I've already had a forward die for this EX burst to even trigger in the first place."
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
this is probably the worst king you could probably search for.
And I'm glad you can't do it, but you can't, like, I'm glad this is a rule, but you can't even, like, sack something in response to the EX burst or something like that. If it's EX burst and nothing's died, it's just nothing.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't like that one. Hey, we've got a new monk. Monk forward 6k. When monk enters the field, choose one job monk forward or card name monk forward you control, and one forward opponent controls. Each forward deals damage to the other equal to its power to the other. So for me, will this replace Sarah Mobius in the monk deck, or because it's a monk, or will Sarah still be the better option because you can recur it easier?
You'd still run both, but
Yeah, you'd want to run both.
Would you be able to fit both though? That's also the question.
Yes,
make
you
it fit.
would.
You'd make it fit so easy.
Cut Regus
if
or summons.
Well, what do you mean summons?
Yeah, what? You run summons?
The only summons you're running are like Carbuncle and Mist Dragon. That's it.
Yep.
That's all you need.
But yeah, I like this. I feel like the big tribal decks have each been given one card. It's like you're allowed one, and it's like I don't think they needed it.
This card is like monks didn't need this. They didn't need another effect like this, but they got one because why not?
Although I will give them one thing: they made it mandatory. So if this is the only thing you have, if this is the only monk you have on board, and you play it, and your opponent has a 7k, then congratulations, you just paid 3 to deal 6k to a forward.
Yeah, which might not be the worst thing either, to be honest.
It depends.
It depends on the situation.
Multi-unit, yeah. It's a good card. The fact you can have multiples out is really good. And can you bring this back with Ursula?
No, you can't. Thank God.
Okay. Ursula's 2 cost or less, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah. Ursula targets 2 cost or less. Thankfully.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was also gonna be the. Oh wait, what about this? Yeah, okay, good. It's not a busted card.
It doesn't make another card busted.
Mont Leonis. 11 cost forward 7k. The cost required to cast Mont Leonis is reduced by 1 for each Earth character you control. When Mont Leonis enters the field, choose one Earth forward of 6 or less in your break zone. Play it onto the field. When Mont Leonis is put from field into the break zone during this turn, the next damage dealt to you becomes 0.
So Zalera finally has an 11 cost target.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah. Protag Kun is more expensive than God. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
And smaller.
Yeah, and smaller. Yeah, well, he has to be smaller. But yeah, play this, play WoW, play Neo X Death, watch your opponent want to actually, like, not play the game anymore.
Yeah, this is what I was leading on earlier on. I'm thinking we are getting stuff to push an alternate Mono Earth deck a bit forward. I just don't know if this will be enough to outdo monks or not.
My biggest question is, like, how much stuff do you have to have in play to make this worth being played on the regular? I would imagine that you would want to have the cost go down to 6 so that you can get the thing back for free.
It'll depend what you can bring back. If you're bringing back a 6 cost, I only want to pay 2 for this, so I only want to pay at most 8 all up.
Yeah.
So have your 5 backups out, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm sort of getting at. So, yeah, you've got your 5 backups to play. It costs 6. You can do the thing that you want to do. But yeah, I guess if you're running Zodiac, you can like watch this guy in Zodiac.
Combo.
What's that?
Zodiac combo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you want to do it with that, then that's pretty cute. But then you've got to wait for this to die.
Which isn't hard. It's a 7k.
I was gonna say it's not that hard.
I mean, yeah, sure,
Hey,
it's not
Sam.
that difficult, but it's also difficult to have this die and have the Zodiac in hand at the same time, unless you're running the Dark Camelot to go find the Zodiac.
It's not hard at all.
Hold on, I'm writing this down.
I'm taking notes, damn it.
Yeah, we're going back to Opus 5.
Is Zodiac 2 O's or 2 arcs?
Yes.
That's fine, Sam. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I had fun on your stream, and looks like you guys were having fun.
Zodiac Arc.
Zodiac
Yeah.
Arc.
Zodiac Arc, Keeper of Jeff. There you go. That's his name now. All right, if I ever build that deck, that's what it's being called. And if I top with it, then FF deck is going to have to live with the fact that Zodiac Arc, Keeper of Jeff is a top deck.
Oh god, we gotta do this now. Damn it. Damn it, I wish most of the reunion tournaments weren't cancelled. That would have been so good to take around to those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we got...
Oh, well.
Yeah. We got Lich, then the Earth part of the Chaos Cycle. This one's also a 4-cost 8k. When Lich enters the field, you may discard 1-drop Chaos. When you do so, choose one card in your break zone, add it to your hand.
Easily the worst Chaos.
Yeah, like, you're discarding another 8k forward. You better get something really good in replacement.
No. This is literally a black belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is actually a black belt. But the advantage of it is, if you could call it an advantage, is this card gets anything back. That's it. That's the only good part of the text. Beyond that, it's like fodder that I would actually.
So it's color fixing at best.
No. This card has the greatest use ever. You discard it to the other 3 Chaoses to use their effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I was gonna say, or you discard a Lich with the Lich to get back another Chaos to discard to play a backup of the alternate color.
If you want.
We're talking too much value here. I don't know.
Yeah, nah. Well, Chaos
alright.
can't be relative.